Okay, so today we'll be looking at the process of digestion as a whole. So here I've drawn the diagram of the body and the organs that are involved. So first, let's start at the mouth. You eat the food, and the first thing you do is chew the food. And here, around this area, you have what you call salivary glands. So here you have your salivary glands, and salivary glands basically release saliva. And in your saliva, you find your amylase protein. It also contains little ions and such, but that's just to maintain pH, but you don't really need to know much about that. So, salivary glands release saliva, and your saliva contains the enzyme amylase. And as you know from a previous video, amylase breaks down starch and can glucose. That's at the maths. Then your food moves down your esophagus and enters your stomach. So this is your stomach. Now, in your stomach, first thing is that your stomach churns the food. So because of the stomach walls contracting, the food is getting churned. Another thing is that it releases hydrochloric acid. And hydrochloric acid is there to kill all bacteria and microorganisms that are harmful. But it's also the optimum pH for the enzyme protease. What I mean by optimum pH, it's the pH where the protease enzyme works best at. So protease breaks down proteins include amino acids. Then, once that happens, it then moves to the small intestine. So, a small intestine, you have as a breaking down of all molecules. Because if you look close, if you is your pancreas. The pancreas releases all three enzymes. So it releases amylase, releases lipase, and it releases protease into the small intestine. So they can break down your starch, your lipids, and proteins into smaller, more soluble molecules for absorption. So further breaking down of molecules happens in the small intestine. And then you have your useful molecules, which are now more smaller and more fungible. So that means they are then absorbed into the bloodstream, and then they travel around the body, and they go to the required places in the body. However, you will have some waste products. Your waste products go to the large intestine, and it further water absorption happens here. So your waste travels to your large intestine, and then it's stored in the rectum until it's able to be passed and digested through the anus. Now, another thing that you do need to know is in terms of the liver and the small intestine, and also liquid digestion. You know that lipase breaks down lipids into fatty acids and glycerol. But before the lipase actually breaks down the lipids, you have something called bile salts. So bile salts are produced by the liver and it's stored in the gallbladder, which is somewhere around here. So bile salts are released into the small intestine, and all it does is it emulsifies fats. That's the nuclear. It emulsifies fats. And all that does, it increases the surface area for faster lipid digestion. But that's just the overview for digestion and absorption.